We are going to talk about tipping. There's multiple ways that a player can tip you. So a player can hand you tips if they just want to give you chips. You don't double them, you just keep them, say thank you, put them in your tip cup. They can also tip you in cash at any time. So again, say thank you, take your cash, put it in your tip cup. Or if you're really busy and it's a busy bar, you can always take that money and put it in a drawer. Just make sure you keep it separate away from all of your other money for your pull tabs, your 21, and etc. You can also play for tips. The player must put those tips out before the cards are dealt. We are at our first hand here and we're going to ask the player what they want to do. And so we're going to ask on their second hand. Now dealer flips. We have a 14. We get a 9, we bust. That means we are going to pay this one, grab the tip with the other hand, and we are going to pay this one, grab the tip with the other hand, and then we'll clean up our cards to double our tips. Since the player won, we get to double these tips. We pull out another 1 there and 1 there, and those now go into our tip cup, and that is our tips. Okay, so now, once again, we have our hands out. Our player has placed the tips before cards have come out. So we're gonna ask what the player wants to do with their 14 and their 17. Dealer's turn, we have 8. We pull a card, we have 19. So 19 beats a 17. You take the bet and the tip, and again on the 14th, the bet and the tip go in. You do not win because you beat the player's hands. All right, now we were gonna go over tips when the dealer has a blackjack. So first we're going to ask our player what they wanna do. We're going to split 8s. And we can never split a tip. You can double down on a tip, but a split tip, we cannot do that. Then we're gonna go to our next card there. Now we have a 10. And we can double down on the tip. We cannot split, but we can double. And we can also double for less. Our bet is 10, we can double for less, so it's 5. Then we get our 17. Dealer flips, we have a blackjack. What happens here is original bet and original tip is taken. Original bet and original tip. What the player gets to keep, the player gets to keep their split, their double down, and their double tip. If you run across this scenario while you are dealing, the first thing you ask is not insurance in this case, it is even money. So if you have an ace and another hand on the table is blackjack, you first ask them if they want even money. If they take even money, it is what their bet is. So we have a $10 bet. They get $10. You don't get this tip, but you don't lose it. It stays there for the next hand. You finish out your hand, you flip over your cards, the hand is done. The tip can stay for the next round. Our last tipping scenario that we have is we have dealt the cards out. Dealer has an ace. So first thing we ask is if the player would like insurance.
Yes, please. How much is it?
You always check. Insurance is half the bet, so the player needs $5 here. And the insurance goes on the insurance line. Then you see what they would like to do with their hand. You have 18. All right, we flip our card. We have the blackjack. So before when we went over insurance, we just grab their money and pay them. What's different here is the tip is lost. Insurance goes off of the dealer's hand having a blackjack. The dealer having a blackjack beat your hand, so the tip is lost because that was off your bet.